Hi, I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of Andrewsfootball.com, and with the 28th pick in the NFL draft, who would the Los Angeles Chargers take? I really wanted to say San Diego Chargers. I know you did too. All right, look, here's the I'm going to break down the Chargers for you. After starting off the season 1-2, they lost Pro Bowl tight end Hunter Henry earlier in the year. They signed Antonio Gates, who was officially 87 years old, to help out this team. They end up finishing 12-4. I mean, a 1-2 start, but they finished 12-4. I mean, that's an 11-2 record down the stretch. That's amazing. The bad news is that even though they finished 12-4, they were tied with my Kansas City Chiefs. However, due to division tiebreakers, they ended up just being a wild card team, even though they were tied for the best record in the AFC, which is a shame, but it does happen sometimes. It was really cool because the last game of the season they lost was the Baltimore Ravens. Last time they lost in the regular season, but they had to go to Baltimore 2 weeks after the Ravens beat them at home. They had to go on the road, and you know what good teams do? They adjust, and they won that game. Even though the score's 23-17, it was much more decisive than that. The Ravens had no clue what they were coming up against, and when you lose a game in the regular season, play that same opponent 2 weeks later, that's a sign of a really good team. And unfortunately, though, they had to travel to New England, and I figured out the math. If they basically, and they had New England, they had to play the early game. So you're a West Coast team having to go to the East Coast and play an early game. It may not sound hard, but it's 9 a.m. Plus, you had to travel from LAX to Baltimore, back to LAX to New England. I figured it out. It was something like 12,000. It was over 12,000 miles in a short span. And I don't care if you are a professional athlete. That amount of travel, playing the early game, the NFL was doing no favors to the Chargers whatsoever. It was a brutal stretch. I remember breaking down all the playoff games. I'm like, this is the only one I can guarantee you that Patriots are going to win. And it's not because the Chargers don't have a good team. And the Chargers were undefeated outside the state of California. 7-1 road record, but that stretch would kill anybody. New England's a good football team. I mean, they won the Super Bowl. So, I mean, that was tough. But when I look at the Chargers, 6th in scoring, 8th in points against. There's a lot of teams, like my Chiefs, for example, that focus on one side of the ball. And that's a trend that a lot of teams are going for. A lot of teams are saying, you know what, we got a great quarterback. We had top 5 or top 10 offense. Let's just try to be middle of the pack here. Not Chargers. They got studs on both sides. I mean, let's look at this offense here. Phillip Rivers, future Hall of Famer, went to the Pro Bowl. Melvin Gordon, even though he only started 12 games, went to the Pro Bowl. He's having a great season. Really developed as a player. Guy I really was very, very high on coming out of college. Keenan Allen, okay, most of the people watching my show, of course, are Chiefs fans, but if you don't know who Keenan Allen is, or you're on the East Coast, you don't watch a lot of West Coast football, Keenan Allen's one of the best receivers in football. He ended up slipping to the 3rd round. He ran a 4.75 to combine. He doesn't run like a 4.75. I know if you look up his time, like this guy, no. This guy runs a lot faster than the guy who's timed at 4.75. And he's a big dude. He's 6'2", 6'3", 215, catches everything in sight. The thing about Keenan Allen is when he catches the ball, he runs ticked off. I'm going to tell you something. There are a lot of Chiefs fans that follow my show. As a pure receiver, he's a better receiver than Tyreek Hill. Plain and simple. Now, I think Tyreek Hill's a better player because as a punt returner, that's a dual threat. But as a pure receiver, Keenan Allen's one of the best receivers in football. Extremely underrated. You also have Mike Pouncey. This was an offseason acquisition I loved. He went to the Pro Bowl as well. But look at this defense. Last year, with the first pick in the 2017 draft, 2018 draft, my mistake, Derwin James slid to 17 and first-team All-Pro. This guy, a lot of scouts were high on. I have to admit, I wasn't. I thought he was more athlete than player. I wasn't sure how he was going to fit, but this guy was just a monster. Hits like a freight train, can cover, run. Basically, everything that they thought he could do, he did. He absolutely hit the athletic ceiling. This guy looks like an absolute superstar. Then you got Joey Bosa, who only played in 6 games, had 5.5 sacks. Only played in 7 games, started 6. He's only started 33 games in 3 seasons. So, I mean, that's essentially missing almost a whole season, which is not good. But out of those 33 starts, 28.5 sacks, and he plays to run phenomenally. If he stays healthy with the addition of James, wow. Melvin Ingram on the other side with Bosa. Melvin Ingram, he went to the Pro Bowl. They added Thomas Davis from the Panthers, which I really like. And the reason why I really like is this team is saying, dude, we got a Super Bowl team. And I'm a Chiefs fan. I'm worried because this is a talent-loaded team that is playing well. They're coached well. This team's loaded. Now, here's the thing. You also get Hunter Henry, Joey Bosa. If these guys stay healthy, this is probably the most talented team in the AFC. It really is. Here's the issue. On defense, you're losing multiple starters. Jason Verrett couldn't really stay healthy. He's now signed a deal with San Francisco. You're losing safety Jadil Adai. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but he started alongside James. He's gone. Now keep in mind he didn't play a lot. Corey Leggett, one of my favorite players, even though he's a Charger, only played I think 3 games last year. He's gone. So the defense is going through sort of a metamorphosis of sorts, but there's some really, really good players on this team. Bosa and Darren James were just home run draft hits. So in a perfect world with the 28th pick in the 2019 draft, you want to do the same thing you've been doing and get somebody who's capable of just being a stud. And that's in a perfect world. And I think they're in a draft on the defensive side of the ball because they lost a lot of players on the defensive side of the ball. And my guess is with the 20th pick in the 2019 NFL draft, I got the Los Angeles Chargers taking DeAndre Baker, the Jim Thorpe Award winner out of Georgia. And here's the thing, he has no business being there at 28. None whatsoever. He should be going a lot higher. This is a guy, I was looking at some stats here. This guy gave up 0 touchdowns since 2017 in the SEC. That's really impressive. All right, 2017. That wasn't this year. That was last year. That's good. That's really good. If you watch his play, he's physical. He's not the biggest guy, but I'm seeing 5'11", 190. It was really funny. I saw something on Twitter how NFL scouts view DBs, and it's like 5'11" was here, and 6 foot was up here, and he was like Godzilla, and it's 1 inch. No, this would be a home run hit for the Chargers, possibly their 3rd straight Pro Bowl defensive player. The thing with DeAndre Baker is this is a guy who helps out day one. I don't know if he starts. I don't know if he plays in the slot. But my guess is, because they got Desmond King, just a guy I love. I wish he was a Chief. He kind of plays in the slot, kind of plays all over. Here's the thing with the Chargers. Their defense is really confusing. This has been a staple of Gus Bradley. He came over from Seattle, but where Seattle just says, hey, we're going to beat you up. He kind of prefers a little more of a confusing physical defense. This team is physical. This team is fast. DeAndre Baker, I think, is a guy who really shouldn't be going this low in the draft. But if he is available, this is a guy who's going to help out immediately. Look at the receivers you're going against. You got Antonio Brown now you have to face twice a year. You got Tyreek Hill and Sammy Watkins of my Chiefs, all right? Denver Broncos got Cortland Sutton, that guy who really started to flash last year. Emmanuel Sanders, who had some injury issues, was on the wrong side of 30, still a really good player. The AFC West has teams that throw the football. You really can't have enough good corners. And so here you go. This, to me, would be a great pick. This would be a home run hit. I mean, you get the Jim Thorpe Award winner at 28. I don't know if he's your day one starter, but he's playing day one. And he's contributing to your team. And this is a team that has a chance to go to a Super Bowl this year. This is a very talented team. This is a team with exceptional balance on both sides of the football. This team is coached well. It stinks for me because I'm a Chiefs fan and I'm looking at Chargers. I'm like, man, these guys are loaded, and they are. So listen, if you're a subscriber to Andrews Football, you already know you're one of the greatest people on planet Earth. But if you're new to Andrews Football and you decided to watch this video because you're a Chargers fan, you're a fan of NFL mock drafts, you're a fan of the NFL draft, or you are just a fan of awesome hats, I got a treat here for you. There's this little button right down here. Check it out. It's red and white. Check it out. And bam! Hit that button. Become one of the greatest people on planet Earth. Wait till tomorrow. It's Red Friday. I finally get to break down my Kansas City Chiefs. I'll see you tomorrow.